But what games have you been playing this week?
Basically just one medieval dynasty on the Game Pass. It's like one of those crafting survival games.
What is it called? Medieval Dynasty?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. What is
I didn't either before I found it, and it's on the Game Pass.
Oh, for Xbox?
Yeah.
Oh. Let's see. Medieval
There's so many.
Dynasty.
There's so many on there, and I would.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this game site because I remember seeing the yeah, I remember seeing the advertisements for this on Steam. Um it looks very similar to, did you ever see the stuff for oh, something called Life is not Life is. Yeah, Life is Feudal. That's what it is. Did you
I think
ever,
so.
or no, not Life. It kind of looks like Life is Feudal, but there's some other game that my friend plays that was like medieval. Let me see if I can find it. That um that was really liked, but also very difficult in combat. Yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance.
I think I have heard of that one. Never played it though.
Yeah,
The one
yeah.
main thing I really like about this game, how you can so easily switch from first person perspective to third. You just have
Mm-hmm.
to move your mouse, your scroll wheel,
Yeah.
and you can just instantly change at will what you want to do.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, like you can if you want to do it in third person for a while, you can just do that. Go to first person. It's entertaining, but it's the same thing. It has the same amount of seasons and like Sons of the Forest. It
Yeah.
has pretty much the exact same crafting mechanic.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, like you were saying about arrows,
Mm-hmm.
craft them the exact same in this stone, sticks, feathers, but it's pretty much the exact same recipes. It's really weird.
Okay, so similar to Sons of the Forest and all that.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
graphics wise, it reminds me of Sons of the Forest, 7 Days to Die, other game.
Yeah. Yeah. It does look quite interesting because it, and definitely looks like a lot of games have. I feel like there have been a string of games over the last like 5 years that are not necessarily AAA games, but like either indie studios or whatnot that have come up with games that look very much like that. They're like somewhat um, open world.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I know. So I know from I know we mentioned it earlier, but obviously you and I have been playing Sons of the Forest uh
Hmm.
quite a bit. Uh, and I was about to say, what do you think of the game overall? Because I know we had quite a bit of an adventure yesterday, but you know.
Yeah, those mutants at the end when we stopped, that was the adventure, all right. No, I like it a lot. It reminds me of 7 Days to Die.
Mm-hmm.
That game, I am ashamed to admit. My family also plays, like my uncle and my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
And one time I was over at their place, and I kid you not, we played that game for 32 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we didn't even go to sleep. We stayed awake playing 7 Days to Die for 32 hours.
Oh, jeez.
And we would have gone longer if my aunt didn't come out the next morning and be like, "You guys go to sleep? What is your problem?"
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me. Did you ever, when you're growing up, did you ever have those like controllers? That the controllers themselves like had a game that you just plug into the TV and a sort of um, and you almost like use the joystick. They're almost like plug and play, I guess. I don't know if I've.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't have one growing up, but I know what you're talking about.
yeah. So like uh growing up, I think my sister got a SpongeBob one for Christmas one year. And there was one point where we went to visit some cousins of ours, and we spent I think we spent about 8 hours in front of the TV, all passing the controller to each of us, like playing the game.
Yeah.
But the one thing that was such a great moment, but also such a terrible moment, was we got to um we got to the very end, like the very final level of the entire game. And we were like, okay, we're here. We've never been here before. And within, but as soon as we got to the final level, the batteries in the controller itself started to die. And so the screen started getting all like jagged and the colors started bleeding because it was like holding on to dear life. And just as we were about to like beat the final boss or whatever it was, it just died altogether, and we lost all the progress.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, we never got to that level ever again. But
That would make me so sad. That would make, you know what? Even if I was young and playing that like that, I'd be like, I did it once, I can do it again. I would not want.
yeah, yeah, I was not. Yeah, I don't even. I know I also got like a Star Wars one of that, the same year, the next year, and that one was next to impossible as well. But all that. But yeah, I know if I remember correctly from last week, for the last podcast recording we did, we sort of hinted at talking about the upcoming Dead by Daylight chapter, but never really got into it. We kind of got distracted
Yeah.
by the Hooked on You skins.
I forgot about that, but yeah, we did.
Yeah. Um, so I wanna. So, what are your feelings for the everything that's coming with Chapter 27, which is Tools of
Is that
Torment?
the is that the skull person?
Yeah, so we have the new killer, which is Skull Merchant, and then two new survivors, which is Thalida Lyra and Renato Lyra.
Yeah, the
Which,
twins, right?
yeah, they look appear to be twins.
Yeah. I like that they're twins because I don't think we've had any survivors that were related yet that kind of knew. Well, we have survivors that knew each other before they were entered into the Into realm. I think it's like Elodie and someone else.
Yeah, whoever's the architect. I forget his name though. He's the blonde guy.
What is his name?
I don't remember. I never play him, so.
Jonah? No, that's not. No, that's not Jonah. I don't ever play him either, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, let me see. Let me pull up
But
a survivors list.
the fact that there's two survivors that know each other like twins, kind of interesting.
Yeah,
At least to me.
yeah. I'd
But
definitely be interested in seeing those twins go up against the twins killer. So
absolutely.
they'd be like, oh, it's Felix. That's his name, Felix.
Felix, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felix and Elodie apparently knew each other before they went into the trial area, the entities, the fog.
Yeah, because I think if I remember correctly,
I think it was them. I know it's Elodie and some.
yeah, I think Elodie and Felix, they were childhood friends, and their parents both disappeared the same night. And I think it was like Elodie went on an adventure trying to get to the realm that their parents disappeared into. Whereas Felix was just like, oh, I'm gonna go off and be a brooding person, but, do live my own life and try to forget about that. But then the past catches up to him.
Yeah.
Um, Now, the one interesting thing with the twin survivors that are coming out is the teamwork perks. Have you looked into those?
I have not. I've not looked at any perks or anything else really for Killer or Survivor,
Yeah.
which
So both twins come with a new perk type called Teamwork.
Okay.
Um, and they each teamwork perk is only like is dependent on you sticking with another survivor. Um, so it's like the one here, which is called Power of Two. It says grants a 5% haste status effect for as long as you stay within 12 meters of one another, or one of you loses a health state.
Oh, that's going to be terrible, but I love that. That reminds me of a perk that. It reminds me of another perk. And I don't remember the perk. I think it was a perk that got nerfed a long time ago, but that reminds me of what they used to have on something.
Mm-hmm.
It was either a key add on, it was something else. There's a perk that already kind of did the haste effect when you have to be close to someone else, but I do not remember.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
friendly competitor, I'm looking at him now, by the way. The friendly competitor, I'm going to like that because I'm already a gin jockey.
Oh, yeah, increasing your repair speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be used a lot um, by players. I'll be interested in seeing how I'll be interested in seeing how Cut Loose, if that's used at all, because Cut Loose seems to be a perk that they keep adding variants of it, but I'm not sure. It just suppresses both the loud noise notification and the sound effects triggered by rushing to vault, and then
So
successfully performing a rushed vault while Cut Loose is active resets the timer.
isn't that just kind of like quick and quiet?
Yeah, it seems like quick and quiet. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm
That
trying.
sounds just like quick and quiet.
Yeah, so it sounds like almost as just. I'm wondering where
You
Cut
could
Loose
pair
and
that with quick and quiet, though.
yeah, exactly. Pairing them together, I wonder how that would work.
Like, what I see it is, you would first, okay, if you had quick and quiet, and you would first do the rush vault with quick and quiet. It would activate, and then it would go away.
Mm-hmm.
Then cut loose would activate afterwards, so could also volt again, like within that time frame. So you could do two quick and quiet with two different perks.
Yeah.
That's from what I'm under.
Yeah, it'll just be interesting to see with the game which one decides to activate first.
I don't know if it was a rumor or anything, but I heard at one point that the position that you put your perks in when you're setting it up in the loadout is
Mm-hmm.
what it will activate first. Like
Oh.
if they're activation perks like that, you would have to put like quick and quiet first, then cut.
Hmm.
But
All right.
also pairing that with life, maybe,
Oh yeah.
and pairing it with dance with me, or that other cape perk where you can bolt in your trails of blood and your scratch marks aren't visible for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be good.
I'm going to try that out actually.
Yeah.
Quick and quiet and cut loose. Absolutely. And then if you had the teamwork one, you could just keep vaulting all day with haste.
Oh yeah, that's true. Now the other one I see here, the other teamwork perk I see is Collective Stealth, which is suppresses your scratch marks for as long as you stay within 12 meters of one another, or one of you loses a health state. Um, I feel like that one is a lot more helpful than the other
Is that
teamwork perk.
coming in the? Is that coming in the new one? Oh, I
Yeah, it's
see it
part
now.
of
Okay,
Renato's.
I didn't scroll down far enough.
Let's see.
Okay, so if you were to use that one, you would be able to heal yourself and then the collective stealth would activate, and that suppresses scratch.
Yeah.
So if we were to use that one in the power of two, if you were to heal someone, collective would activate, and then since you're both healed, haste would also be there. So you would not have scratch marks, or you would have haste.
Well, but that's the one thing with these perks is it says here teamwork or survivors can only be affected by one instance of teamwork.
I didn't read
Wait,
that.
teamwork power of two at a time. Oh, so okay. So they're
Yeah, it's
essentially saying you can't stack them. Like you can't like
prove
have
thyself.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you can't stack prove thyself. So you could stack power of two with collective.
Yeah, wow, that's actually
So
that could be dangerous.
that would be so terrible.
Yeah, I might start feeling bad for killer players.
I want to start doing this.
Yeah,
I'm already a rat when I play. Like I don't mean to, but I'm usually the last one to get hooked when everyone else has like two, or I'm usually tunneled off first. Either one of the two.
yeah.
So I can be even more of a little rat.
Yeah. I'd be I'd be interested in seeing how much blood rush might be abused.
Yeah, I'm reading that.
Cuz like that one just sounds like a runner's dream.
Wait, while you're automatically healing back healthy. So what you're saying is you can get off from when I'm reading it in this scenario in like once you're on death hook and you get unhooked, you can press that button, instantly recover from oh no, that wouldn't make you would have to use like dead hard or something,
Yeah.
instantly recover from no, that wouldn't work. Never mind. The way I was thinking of I thought it would kind of be like healing you like for the people.
Oh, yeah, no, there's
No, no,
just
no. I've read it wrong.
yeah, cuz it just changes the your exhausted status effect. So you could like
Yeah, I didn't read the you will lose a health state. I was thinking that you could be hurt and then recover from exhaustion, but the broken effect would heal you back to healthy or something like that.
yeah, yeah, this it's something where it seems like if you really want to get away from a killer and make sure you're like on the opposite side of the map of the killer, like this is something you
Mm-hmm.
could easily abuse just to get
Oh,
two like
absolutely.
boosts. Like I can see Lithe being perfect with this.
And with that or like Dead Hard,
Oh yeah,
possibly, but Life would be good with that.
yeah, or even Sprint Burst. That one will also be great. You can just chain two Sprint Bursts together and call it a day.
Mm-hmm. And you can pair it with Vigil, and your sprint burst will go down faster. Your exhaustion will go
Mm.
down faster.
Yeah.
I started using that perks on like every single loadout. It is so much better. It is so
Yeah.
nice to use.
You know what do you think of now with the Skull Merchant, the one
I have a lot to say about her, and I can't really say that much because I've only seen a little bit of footage on TikTok.
Yeah.
So the main things I've seen are her Mori, which, as everyone else, it's not. It's very underwhelming. In
Yeah.
my opinion, it could have been a lot better because it just looks stupid. It looks like it's missing something because the drone that she throws out, the drone does nothing but just stay there and add a background rave effect. It it would be better if they had the drone in the Mori.
Oh yeah.
Kind of like how the knight has his little knights in the Mori with him. The drones
Yeah.
would be kind of cool to be in the Mori instead of just being a light.
Yeah, it'd be nice if the drones like had a hidden weapon
Yes.
that would could be used. Cause yeah, it's like because the drones are so strangely designed that I would love to just see them be able to use for more than just oh, it's a fancy radar.
Mm-hmm. Next time you break a breakable wall or a pallet, survivors will go green and reveal their aura. I don't like that.
Yeah, that I feel like that could be.
That can be abused, especially with the breakable wall. Like, if you were to go in the game, there are
Yeah,
so many breakable walls that you can abuse that for.
yeah, but I feel like that I feel like the addition of Thwack in the killer's arsenal uh is the reason why they are buffing um it's one of Yui's perks, I think. It's the one where you can pick up pallets.
Um, I know that perk, but I don't remember.
Let me
I
see
don't
what it's
remember the name.
called. Is it? Yeah, any means necessary. So, which you can pick up pallets. Because initially that had a cooldown, being like, oh, you, like after you use it, you have to wait like 40 to 60 seconds to use it
Mm-hmm.
again. But now I remember the devs saying something where they're taking away that cooldown entirely.
Really?
Yeah,
I did not hear that.
yeah. Like I obviously it takes quite a while to pick the pallets up, so no one's gonna be like dropping a pallet on the killer and then while staring at the killer pick it back up because there wouldn't be enough
Yeah, it's not
time.
going to be instant.
Yeah. But I do appreciate that they've gotten rid of that cooldown because I feel like it'll save
It'll make the
more
perk more
pallets.
useful.
Yeah.
Like, I have used the perk before. It is a good perk to use if you're with a Swift.
Mm-hmm.
But it is also, it takes a while to be of any use, especially if there's a killer that constantly gets in chases like every few minutes,
Yeah.
because you won't have time to reset stuff.
Yeah. Of course, what is it? The perk for the Skull Merchant that's was it leverage? I feel like that's going to become like a mainstay, like a top 5 sort of perk for killers. Because that says for each token, the healing speed of survivors is reduced by a stackable 3, 4, or 5% for the next 30 seconds, up to a maximum of 30, 40, or 50 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens each time you hook a survivor. So it's like obviously it runs out at a certain point, which is nice, but it's like I feel like this could easily make or break whether survivors live or die.
Yes. So the healing speed of the survivors is reduced.
Yeah.
If you were to add that with the artist perk, Pentimento,
Oh.
so not only would you have them like that, but the Pentimento, it also affects the healing state, I think, right?
Yeah, it does. It slows it down. I forget what tier, but yeah.
But yeah, it slows it down and it's really annoying, especially if they get all the totems. I've had that happen several times.
Yeah, it's
Or even with the Legion. Oh my gosh.
oh, legions are notorious, but yeah, for
A Legion with
lesser stuff.
leverage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nah.
Let's see. The other one's just game afoot. Um, I don't see that one being used all that much.
Yeah.
Like it's a nice perk, I guess, if you want more haste, but I feel like there are better
Well,
perks that exist for that.
yeah, it would be for a little bit if you were trying to just, kind of goof around. As I can see it as like a Michael Myers tier 3,
Mm-hmm.
because his speed gets dramatically reduced when he's tier 3 like that, I think. So you could use the Game of Foot perk for the haste effect.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see, because I'll say have they? Okay, so they haven't released any cosmetics yet for any of the new characters coming. Um, it'll be interesting to see where they go with things because, at least in
I
my
just
opinion, I feel like the Skull Merchant is DBD's way of having a Terminator character without getting the Terminator license.
I absolutely thought it was going to be the Terminator when they did the teaser trailer, and I got kind of upset when it wasn't. But I'm still happy it's kind of like a Terminator area character.
Yeah, I know. What was it? And I think the one thing that I'm a bit thrown off by is the fact that the the killer is inspired by manga for all the stuff that she puts together.
Yeah.
Which I saw someone post something about it and I was like, that's not actually like background information for this character, is it? But then it was. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I just realized when they add cosmetics for the survivors, they're going to have matching outfits, most likely, and it's going to be adorable.
That's true. Because that's the one thing with the twins, like, just looking at the twins, there's a definitive, like, distinctness between them
Hmm.
when you're looking at the portraits. But I feel like from a far enough distance in the game, no one's really going to be able to tell too
Yeah.
much. Like, it's going to be hard to tell which twin you're hitting over the head. Um, but yeah.
I love the way you worded that.
But I don't know. Yeah, I'll be interested in seeing. I'll be interested in seeing if the teamwork perks, if the devs continue to add more with more survivors in future chapters, or if it'll just be something like the boon perks, where it's like they added a few, but the community like raged to a certain degree
Yeah.
that they nerfed them slightly and were like, all right, we're not making any more. Bye bye.
Yeah. I did like the boons, but at the same time, I don't, because it feels, to me, I like it, but it also kind of feels like a waste of a slot because it constantly gets taken down and you constantly have to do it, you know?
Yeah, I feel like it's more of a perk for if you want to, like, if you just want to mess with a killer and waste their time
Absolutely.
than just putting one down, because then I feel like for at least half the killers you go up against, if you put down a boon, they're just gonna be hunting down all the totems
Yep.
and just be like, okay, where are you?
There was, before I think I met you, there was another group I played with,
Mm-hmm.
and all four of us ran an all four boon perk build. So we all four had the four boons. And so we just boomed the entire map and did nothing with our perks for the rest of the game, and the killer could not catch us. He got so mad.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, there. And that's the one interesting thing is because I've been playing a lot of Video Horror Society recently.
Hmm.
Um, like a lot more than I have them since it went into early access on Steam. But it's been
I need to get
interesting.
back into playing that, by the way. So if
Yeah,
you want a
yeah,
partner, let me
yeah.
know.
It's a very interesting game now because the devs have done so much to help out and buff killers that at least as of right now, like killers have a clear advantage for the most part. Um, but the other weird thing is that, like, and the reason for them buffing the killers so much, like in their general abilities, is because they had such an exodus of killer players that they need to get people back into it
Hmm.
for matches and queue times. But now it's at a point where the killer queue times are longer than the survivor queue times. So like survivors can now find matches within typically about like 3 to probably 10 minutes.
That's how Dead by Daylight used to be.
Yeah.
Like, when I first started playing is when the Stranger Things. So that's back when they had the ranks and colors. Like, it was 1 through 10 before the rank system got fixed, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, when I tried to play Killer one time, and
Yeah.
it took me about 40 to 50 minutes.
Did you just find a match?
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
and I restarted my queue like once or twice, and it took me forever to get me into a match the first time. I'm like, screw this, I'm not playing Killer anymore.
Yeah. You know the one thing that VHS added recently that I don't think Dead by Daylight has, that proves to be quite helpful, is you can select which region you want to play on.
Hmm.
So there's like a US East, West, Europe, Asia, and I don't know what else.
I do like that feature.
But that's the thing is like, because the thing I've noticed is because I typically play on US East, and US East is always active between about 5 p.m. till probably midnight. That's when it's the most active.
Hmm.
And then before and after that, if I'm ever like having like really rather long queue times in the US East, if I switch to West or Europe, like I find matches like within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, even though my ping is slightly higher, it's like I'm willing to accept that in order to just play around. But
Yeah.
I'm surprised that DBD hasn't, and maybe they do it just in the background, but I'm surprised they don't do that. At least allow you to select that option.
Yeah.
Um,
Because there's a streamer I watch, and he's in Ireland, I think,
mm-hmm.
and he can't get any killers that are in America, like
Oh.
other streamer killers, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because a bunch of streamer survivors and killers always get in matches together, but he can't get in matches with any of the killers because he's on a different IP in like a different region.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting. Of course, I'll be interested in seeing how. I know there hasn't been much news about it recently, but I'll be interested in seeing how the Killer Clowns game tackles all that.
Yes. Which, thank you for reminding me about that.
Because what is it? Because they're still in closed beta, as far as I'm aware.
They haven't even released the beta yet.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. I thought they were just being very tight-lipped about closed beta, so they haven't
No,
released anything.
no, like the beta has not been released yet. So if you signed up, right?
Yeah, I signed up. Yeah.
Yeah, I did too, and you haven't got anything because they haven't sent anything out.
Oh. Wonder what's holding that up.
Yeah, so this one dude was talking yesterday, no, on the 23rd, is like, haven't been here in a hot minute, any news on the release date? And everyone's like, nope, we may never know.
Yeah. Because at least at this point, if they were having rights issues, we would have heard about it.
Hmm.
Because there would have been some sort of like probably court case or something. There would have been someone who have leaked something. But the fact that at least on the news front, it's been nothing, and there's been no real statuses on the Twitter page or anything.
That's
It
why I'm
is
getting
quite
worried
weird.
about it.
Yeah, but then again, it's like that's sort of the same shindig that's happening with what's it called, the Outlast trials.
Yeah.
Because the Outlast trials, they had great success and great press from the closed beta they did in, I forget what that was, November. No, it wasn't November.
I
I
think
forget
it
when it
was
was.
I think it was December, January. Because you asked me
Yeah.
about it, I think. Or
Here, let me.
something. If you were asking the server about it, if
Yeah.
anyone wanted to play.
Yeah, because let me see. I'm just going their Twitter, just see. Um, Outlast Trials. Here we are. Oh yeah, it's Red Barrel. I forgot the Red Barrel. Red Barrel.
Yeah, so I scrolled all the way back on the announcement on this Discord, and August 23rd last year was when they announced the game.
Yeah.
And there's not been anything else other than being like, it's coming, here's some other clowns and other updates and stuff, but they did on beta.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have
So
models, they have characters, they have all the clowns. They introduced a clown or two on their website, but there's not, and they have weapons and other, but they haven't announced like a beta test.
yeah, and it's interesting. They because I see here they did a clip on the 20. Actually, yesterday, 24th. Talking about they have a new clip from their documentary on the making of the Outlast trials. So they're already doing a documentary sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But then also they did do a Valentine's Day post, which I didn't see this one, of like someone hugging one of the mannequins. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. It's because like they're definitely obviously like being semi-active with the community, but they've been leaving us in the dark, both Red Barrels with Outlast and with Killer Clowns. So I don't know, but knowing our luck, by the time this premieres, they'll be like, all right, here you guys go. Release dates, betas, blah 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 blah. But
Yeah, it'll be like when no one expects it.
yeah, but I don't know. That'd be interesting.
It's kind of like this one game, Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm-hmm.
It was released, the beta was released like right when COVID happened in 2020,
Yeah.
and it is still in beta.
Oh.
It finally got a release date for this year, August 31st. So
Yeah. Yeah. That's rough.
I cannot wait. Just
Yeah.
the first act in this game alone and everything they have right now, it's
Mm-hmm.
105 gigabytes.
Yeah.
It's one you should get the game, by the way. I'm just saying. It's have you ever played Baldur's Gate?
I have not. I've always heard about it, but I've never played any of the previous ones.
You don't really have to play any of the previous ones for this one. At least I haven't, and I'm not going to. Even if I have them all, but it's basically just D&D.
Okay.
It's a good way to put it. It's like a big D&D campaign.
Are they all disjointed series or like disjointed
I
stories each game?
I don't know because while I have both of them, I haven't really played them all the way through
Oh, okay.
because I would want to play with friends, but no one ever wants to play the games with me
Well,
except for my cousins, and they don't ever want to get a good time for it.
about to say how much do the Baldur Gates cost on Switch or not Switch, Steam?
Um, well, Baldur's Gate 3, which is a new one, it's $60.
Okay, and it looks like all the others are 20.
Yeah,
All right. Oh yeah, I'll definitely look into this.
but I know Asias has the third one, and when it comes out, me and him are gonna play through it together.
Hey, there you
And
go.
it's a four-person game.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a four-person game, fully customizable, and choice matters kind of storyline.
yeah. I feel like then we should get the squad together for that we played Gauntlet with,
Oh yeah.
cuz that'd be great. All right. So, it's 9:06. Might as well wrap it up there.
All right.
But yeah. All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening to us ramble on. We'll see you guys next week. Adios.
See ya.